So good morning. Oh, in the video. Okay. So good morning, everyone in the live room and also about 100,000 participants on YouTube Live also. So it's honor for us to be here today. So um, I'm just going to start with the introductory video about our course, and then I will pass the microphone to Professor Claire Sharpe, who is the Dean of the Education from the School of Medicine, University of Nottingham, and also Associate Professor Gurvinder Sahota, who is the head of the Joint Medical Programme. And then we also joined the University of Nottingham team by Dr. Amarin, who is the head of the Joint Medical Programme on the Thai side. And me, I'm Dr. Phakapat Chuwit. I'm an alumni of the Joint Medical. Okay, so let's begin with the video. Do we need to?
Be part of our family at Sawunat. Now, discover the comprehensive and prestigious admissions process of the Joint Medical Programme. Applicants must be Thai nationals, at least 17 years old. IELTS UKV, academic with an overall 7.0 and no band below 6.5+, and the Aptitude Knowledge Admission Test or ACAT. For students in the Thai curriculum, at least 22 credits in science and 12 in mathematics, a GPA of 3.0 overall, and in biology, chemistry and mathematics or physics. For international school students, both in Thailand and abroad, A-levels, IB, AP and CEA systems are accepted, with strong performance in biology, chemistry and mathematics or physics. This is the way to become a part of the Joint Medical Programme.
Sinakarin Wirod University and University of Nottingham. Two institutions, one family.
Every journey begins with a question. Do you dream of becoming a doctor? A physician ready to care for patients anywhere in the world? This is a joint medical program between Sinakarin Wirod University and the University of Nottingham, United Kingdom. Established in 2003, the first and only program of its kind in Thailand, designed to shape humanistic physicians with knowledge, skill, and humanity. Here, medicine is more than learning facts. It is learning how to think, how to question, and how to discover. Students train within institutions ranked among the world's top 100, gaining global research experience and a strong scientific foundation. 6 years, 2 degrees, 1 integrated journey. Years 1, 2, 3 at the University of Nottingham, leading to the Bachelor of Medical Sciences. Years 4 to 6, students return to Thailand to complete advanced clinical training at Sinakarin Wirod University. Here, global healthcare perspectives meet real patients, real systems, real responsibility. Clinical excellence, research, health system understanding, and lifelong learning. Shaping doctors who do more than treat disease. They listen, they understand. They stand beside their patients. In a world that never stands still, medicine demands more than treatment. It demands understanding, compassion, and purpose. If this is the doctor you aspire to become, your journey begins here. Joint Medical Programme, Sinakarin Wirod University and University of Nottingham. 2 institutions, 1 family.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for such a kind welcome. We're very honoured and privileged to be here today to talk to you about the Joint Medical Programme. My name's Claire Sharpe. I'm Professor of Kidney Medicine. I'm a kidney medicine doctor, and I'm Dean of the Education in the School of Medicine at the University of Nottingham. And we come and visit frequently to our partners here in Bangkok. They're very much involved shaping the partnership together, and I'm just going to hand you over to my colleague.
No worries. Thank you so much, Professor Sharpe. So I just want to reiterate again, we're very privileged to be here to give this talk to you all. What we're going to be doing is a presentation now for probably about 30 minutes or so, and hopefully there'll be time at the end for questions. And if there is any questions, even from the online audience afterwards, we're very happy to take them if you want to email us in, and we can always respond to them as well. So just to give you a little bit of background, as you've seen from the video, the course is well established now. So it's really for about 25 years or so that we've worked together on this joint medical programme. And over the years, it's gone from strength to strength, starting with a few students and now going all the way up to 20, 22 students that we sometimes have in our intakes, which means now that we've got a very good track record of bringing students through on the programme and for them graduating here. And exactly what Dr. Schuett said over here before is that we've got alumni now that's very extensive in ONCRAC and around the country now in various roles. So just to clarify, what would happen in the joint medical programme is that you do your preclinical years, so the first 2.5 years or so in Nottingham. So you'd be there, you study there, you live there. As long as you successfully pass that course, you will actually get a degree from the University of Nottingham. So a BMed Sci, it's called, and then you'd come back for the remainder of your programme to Thailand, and then you'd get your MD. So actually at the end of the 6 years, you'd get 2 degrees, one from the University of Nottingham and one from SPIP. The course is also accredited by the World Federation of Medical Education, which is a really prestigious validation for the course, and also allows you to work in different areas and to do different types of degree processes once you've gone through the course as well. So we are, in terms of Nottingham, we are a QS Top 100 university in various areas, and medicine is one of those areas. So that's a top 100 in the world. And in terms of the philosophy and what we're thinking about in terms of our biomedical sciences, what we're really trying to do is integrate the science, the disease, and the professionalism aspect. You've heard about the pillars, about being a global physician, about being a humanistic physician. These are the goals that we try to do within the joint medical programme, but it's the philosophy that we have running through our course in Nottingham already, and as well, and so it complements the SWU's learning outcomes and the way that they want their doctors and physicians to be. We really want to focus on giving the students a really high quality experience, and that includes giving a high quality educational experience and clinical experience, and promoting that lifelong learning. And we want to make sure that we use up-to-date modern methods, and that's one of the reasons that the degree is changing for next year. So for any applications from yourselves, this would be in the new degree programme, which we're already going to accept some students already this year. We've just done the interviews this weekend, and so the announcements will be out shortly for them, and we'll already have been with it for a year or two before you would apply and come through to us. So I'm just going to pass over to Professor Sharpe, who's going to talk a little bit more about the details of how the course might work and the timetables.
Thank you. So, as Gurvinder's mentioned, we've got a new design. All good curricula have to evolve over time. You have to keep looking at them. How's teaching of medicine changed? How can we keep it up to date? So we're bringing in this new programme, and this is what the first 2 years would look like. And the reason I've put just the first 2 years up is because this is when any students coming on the joint programme are in the same curriculum with our home students and any other international students we have. So in total, we'll have about 350 students, and about 50 of them will be international students. Half of those international students come from SWU. So it's a large program, completely integrated together. There's no difference between those different streams of entry points. We have the first year we call the art of medicine. The second year we call the science of medicine. And in that second year, we have another intake of students who are graduate intake. So they've done another degree before they come and do medicine. And then they join the cohort in year 2. Next slide. So one of the principles behind the development of our curriculum is to truly make it a spiral curriculum. And what that means is at the beginning of the course, we introduce you to various concepts, and we'll do that in a way that patients present to us in clinic. So patients don't come to us in hospital and say, I'm having a heart attack. They come to us and say, I've got a pain in my chest. How do you work out that process of, if you have a pain in your chest, there are lots of things it could be. How do you use your science to start making that what we call a differential diagnosis? So we bring in these concepts at a simple level in year 1, and then we keep revisiting them as you go through the course in a more and more complex way so that you can build on your prior knowledge. And to do that, we need to keep up with times. We need new teaching facilities. So the University of Nottingham are investing in our medicine undergraduate degrees significantly. We're building a new clinical teaching centre. Currently, it's in construction. The scaffolding is up and the builders are in there. And it will open in July this year. And it's going to be a fantastic new state-of-the-art facility where we will be teaching our new curriculum. We're changing the way we're teaching slightly, so less emphasis on lectures, more emphasis on small group teaching and team working, with lots of support from technology, lots of things like virtual reality, augmented reality, simulation. We're really going to be embracing these new technologies because times have moved on and we all learn in new ways now. So we're going to be, when you come, when you join our course, you'll be put in a team of a small group with mixed up team, home students, international students, for different areas, and you'll be in a different team for different areas. So for workshops, you'll have one team. For clinical skills learning, when you're learning how to examine patients and take history, you'll be in a different team. So there'll be lots of opportunities to work in small groups, but get to know lots of people. And we're going to be embedding the practice of being a doctor right from the start. So traditionally, medicine has been lots of teaching of theory, lots of understanding of science, the biochemistry, the physiology. And it wasn't until later into the course you actually get to learn how to talk to patients, how to do things like take blood pressure, take blood, examine people. We're actually integrating that much more now. So right from the beginning of year 1, you'll be learning some of those practical skills some of those transferable skills that you need to be able to do when you qualify it. And it will make your learning much more understandable. Why am I learning this? How is it going to help me to be a better doctor at the end of the year? Hopefully our new curriculum you'll really understand why you're learning what you're learning. How does my knowledge of science help me be a better doctor? So in year 1, the art of medicine is a module where you will really start contextualizing the science you're learning. So you will be learning science, but you'll be learning it in a way that's relevant to medicine. So in the example I gave, if someone comes in with chest pain, how do I use my understanding of anatomy, of physiology, of biochemistry to try and work out, is that person having a heart attack? Have they got a blood clot in the lung? Have they got a broken rib? All of these things can cause chest pain. How can I use my knowledge of science and the science I'm learning to help me make a diagnosis for this patient? There's also going to be another module that runs alongside that called reflective practice, where we teach you how to think about how you're learning. The most important way to learn is to learn from our mistakes. So if you do something, you reflect on what was that like? What did I learn from it? Could I have done it differently? How am I going to do it better next time? Learning to be reflective and learning how what we do impacts those in others is really important. And also, how is medicine reflected in society? How is medicine reflected in film, in social media? All of these things are really important for us to learn to be good, holistic doctors when we graduate. When you move on to year 2, again, you revisit the same symptoms, but at a much more complex level. This is when the graduate students are going to join and they get mixed up. You'll have all your groups, all your teams will be mixed up again. Another opportunity to meet new people. And it really helps you to embed that learning from year one, but at a much more complex level. You'll also be put in then another module called interprofessional learning, where you'll be put in another new team with students from other health professions. So you may be in a team with nurses, with midwives, with pharmacists, even with vets, and you'll be given a project to do together. So you may be asked to do a patient information leaflet and working out how to work in teams, how to use everybody's expertise and information to really improve that environment. Because when we qualify as doctors, we work in teams. We never work in isolation. You're always working with other health professionals. And it's really important that you learn how to work effectively in teams, how to lead teams, but also how to follow other leaders. I talked about the course being organised around the way patients present to us. These are the presentations that we'll be focusing on in years 1 and 2. I won't read them out, but you'll see that they are familiar presentations. They're symptoms that will be understandable by anyone in society. This is how people present to us, whether it's in the emergency room, whether it's in our clinic. They come in with pain or confusion or headache or something. This is how we will structure the learning of the science that sits behind the presentation of those symptoms. So this might be a typical timetable. We actually haven't written the timetable for year 1 yet, so this is not written in stone, but it's just an example of what your week might look like. We expect any student to have probably about 20 to 25 hours of contact time. So that's quite high for an undergraduate degree in the UK. We will expect you to be on site, in person, engaging in teaching for quite a lot of your week, but we'll also identify times when you're going to go away and do your own learning. So here, for example, you'll see small group discussion teaching, case-based discussion. Before you come into a workshop like that, you'll be given some work to go through either on your own or with a friend or in a small group, however you choose to do it. Will be expected to learn some science or some information so that when you come to those workshops, you come with the knowledge, and those workshops will then help you apply that knowledge in a real world setting. So you do some learning on your own, and then we help you to learn how to apply that in a workshop type environment. And at the end of each of those symptoms will last for 2 weeks. At the end of those 2 weeks, you'll have a little test to see how much information you manage to take on board, and that will help you measure your progress as you go through the year. Moving on to year 2, similar kind of timetable, but in year 2 we bring in a longitudinal clerkship in primary care. It's being led by Dr. Sahota, but for each of those weeks where you're doing symptom block learning, you will be embedded in what we call a general practice 1 day a week primary care setting, where you'll get to go out, be in a real world healthcare setting, have a GP tutor that's going to show you how to talk to patients, give you the opportunity to talk to patients yourself. And I think Dr. will talk a little bit more about this when I hand back to him. And I'm going to hand over to Dr. Sahota. This is the 3rd year, where this is a bespoke year specifically for our SWU students.
Thank you very much. So exactly right. So this is the 3rd year, which is bespoke for our joint medical programme, and essentially focuses on your research project. So this is in this bit here, it's called BMedSci Research Project. So this is where you will have a supervisor who will lead you into some research. So we'll have a series of topics that you can choose from, and hopefully be able to link you in with something that you want to do and something that is meaningful for you, and hopefully something that we can then generate a research work on, but hopefully build up to sending it somewhere. For example, getting a poster, getting a presentation. This is going to be our aim, and me and Professor Sharpe have been talking about this quite significantly. Actually, this is what we want the joint medical programme student to do, to aim to get a research paper out of it from this. The other bits around it are some other modules which are going to help complement your learning to make sure that you're prepared when you come back to Thailand for your clinical parts of the years, and that's preparation for global medicine module, and the research skills module is going to help you prepare for your dissertation, which is your BMedSci project. So in terms of the assessments over the first few years, so if we just look at the first 2, And you can see them on the slides here that I've separated them to year 1, 2, and 3. So in year 1, there's going to be a portfolio which is going to run through your degree. But in year 1, your portfolio will be looked at, and there'll also be an end of year exam, which is essentially a computer-based type of exam that you'll sit to test your knowledge, and your portfolio will look at other skills which hopefully you've built up through the years. In terms of your tracking, Professor Sharpe's already mentioned that you're going to be having these assessments. So these are what we call formative assessments. So these are almost like practice questions and practice exams. So they are marked, but the scores don't go to anywhere towards your degree. So you're able to look at where you're doing well in and perhaps areas that you need to build up in. And to complement that, there's an educational supervisor that's going to follow you on that journey. And so you can have monthly meetings with your educational supervisor to make sure that things are happening in terms of academically, your progress is going where we want it to go to. If you have any questions, perhaps there are areas that you need to build up on in a different way that you can come up with an action plan and then build up on those over the years. So there's going to be a really good supportive program to help you academically through the program. And in year 2, you've got the portfolio again, as well as the end of year exam, but you'll also have a clinical examination where you'll then have to practice on in an examination where you might listen to the heart, you might listen to the lungs, you may talk to a patient, just to make sure that you're building those skills up as well. And in year 3, because that concentrates primarily on your research or the research paper that hopefully we're going to get you to produce, this will be looked at either by a dissertation or paper writing exercise, as well as presentation of a poster of some kind on your research project and successful completion of the other modules. You'd then come back to SWU probably around February, March time of that 3rd year to continue on with your program. So these are actual pictures from the clinical visits. So exactly what Professor Sharpe said is I'm actually a general practitioner, and I have students in my practice as well, separate to my role as the lead. So sometimes I have the JMP students, and these are some of the pictures that I've got with them actually in the clinic, where what we're going to be doing is allowing you to talk to patients, allowing you to examine patients really early on in that 2nd year, once you've got that bit of knowledge base built up, so that you can really practice and get your scientific kind of knowledge in a real life setting and see how it works. Just going to go into this one. So what I want to talk to now is the longitudinal clerkships. That's the visits that we were talking about. So in year 2, and one of the really good positive changes we've got with the new curriculum is that we've really expanded our early clinical experience. And what we're aiming to do is to embed students within a practice. So they will have a clinical supervisor for that year going through in the practice, where they can really be made to feel part of the team, where that supervisor can get to know you, get to know perhaps the areas that are your strengths clinically, get to know the areas that perhaps you need a little bit of help on, a bit of practice on, and then we'll have that relationship with you to build it on over that year, so that you can really progress and be the best, version of the doctor you can be at the end of your 2nd year at that point. We get feedback from our clinical visits, and the students, JMP students and our standard program students, all absolutely love them, and that's why it's a really positive step that we've put that in. So I'm just going to go back in and talk a little bit about Nottingham. So you may have heard of the city, you may not have. So the population is roughly about 335,000. It's in a place called the East Midlands. You can probably see, so the big dot on there is London, and Nottingham's just at the top of that little light green area. And Nottingham's roughly in car, probably about 2.5 hours away, about train, probably about that 2 hours away from London. So actually it's very easily commutable, well, not commutable, but very easy to get to, I should say, from London, and to go there if you ever wanted to visit on the weekend, or other places in Europe, because there's lots of airports close by to Nottingham, and obviously in London as well. So it's the regional hub of that area called the East Midlands. It's a very student-friendly city. The population is about 10 to 15% students. So of that 335, about 40,000 of them are students. And then you've got the associated faculty in other areas. So it's really student-friendly, and that's the reason that we get really good international numbers back, because it is seen as a city where I think it is friendly to students, it's easy to navigate, and also there's lots of things to do for students there. Our campus we're very lucky to have our campus that we have. So it's got lots of green space areas. It's got a lake towards it in the centre as well, which is accessible, and is a really nice scene, especially in summer. As you may know, our winters are a little bit different to how you have winters here. So it's snowing when we left, so it is a little bit different. So if you've not seen snow before, you might get to see snow if you're on the programme. And we've spoke about that post. And it's really important, and I think especially for the parents, we've been coming here for years now, really, and one of the things that I really want to get across is that it is a very good, strong academic program at a top 100 university. That's great. But when you're coming from a different country, we understand there are different issues that you may face compared to a student that's born in that country. Same as if I had come to study in Thailand, I would have different challenges to face as someone who was here already for a long time. Okay? but we're very well established. We've got really good well-being support services, and one of that comes from me in the sense that there is a lead for the joint programme here. We've got Dr. Amrin and you've got myself in Nottingham, and we all work very closely together. So we get to know the students hopefully quite well. We get to know if there's any issues or difficulties, and we can be that port of call to help people through any challenges that they might have, which is very rare, if I'm honest with you. The other thing that the School of Medicine has is Dr. Shirley Thomas is the Deputy Director of Wellbeing now, and has got a specific task of just focusing on international students, because we know that there are those differences or those challenges that you may face in that area. The other bit, which actually isn't on the slide, that I think is really important to emphasize, is because we've been doing it for so long, we've got a very big alumni now. So I think over 200 now, or roughly about 200 have already graduated. But actually when you get there, there'll be about 20 in your year, 20 in the year above, and 20 in year 3. So there actually could be 60 joint medical program students there already. And we have these very big line groups, and even I'm online, which may surprise you or not. And actually, if there are any student issues, they can ask their other colleagues already, or alumni if there's any issues when they might want to know about what happens when they get back to Thailand. So that's a really good support process that we have. There's a very large Thai society at the university that all the students essentially join, and that allows you to integrate with Thai students in different areas. So there might be engineers in there. There might be other people doing other degrees. So actually it gives you that other bit of integration and learning about other bits of the course. At the moment, we have someone called Dr. Adam that's there as well. He might be there in his final year when you're there, I'm not sure. But at the moment, we have him there doing a PhD. So he's a SWU doctor who's internal medicine. He's a member of staff that's doing a PhD there that helps me along with the joint medical program students to support them. And even we do really like to cross-cultural exchange. So for the first time last year, we actually had a Y Crew ceremony, and we're doing one again this year. And you might be able to see, if you've got very good, probably better eyes than me and Professor Sharpe are somewhere around the middle there. And it was genuinely, it's a really touching ceremony. We don't have things like that in the UK. It doesn't really exist. So actually to see it firsthand, and it was student-led. And it was a really important, nice cross-cultural exchange that we were able to share with the whole university as a sign of how close the program is. And it is really true. The SWU Not is, two institutions, one family. That's how we see it, and that's how we want it to progress. And here are some pictures variously of other people that have been here from the University of Nottingham over the last 25 years or so. Again, just for sports fans, I don't know when you're going to be watching this online. We don't know how the season's going to go. So at the moment, I'm optimistic. So we do have a Premier League football side there, Nottingham Forest, for anyone who's interested. So you might get to see them. We're also in Europe this season, which means we play games all over the place. There is a little video that I just want to show you now about the new facilities that I'm going to play. So there will be time, and I'll say thank you at the end, but I just play this video. So thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it. If there's any questions, then please feel free to ask us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sharpe. Thank you, Dr. Sahota, for your very nice presentation. Just to wrap up, I'm gonna just to talk maybe for 3 minutes about when you come back, where will you be in the clinical years? Okay, so okay. So so you pretty much heard about the preclinical years when you will be studying in the UK. So when you come back to the clinical, before you go, since like what you may have heard, we accept about 25 students per year. So you will have friends from other schools all over Thailand, or some students, some Thai students who have graduated from abroad. And we have something, before you go, we have something called the prep course. So you are required to pass the prep course before you can get on the plane to the UK. So the prep course will take about 3 to 4 months, and you will be studying at SWU main campus here next door. So it will cover all the things that you need to know before entering medical school. So some of the basic science, some of the compulsory classes for Thai university degree. So it's good fun. You will get to know your friends from other schools who will be traveling with you. So by the time you travel to the UK, you will have a lot of friends, 20 friends at least. And then you spend 3 years there, and when you come back, so you will be studying clinical years at the Faculty of Medicine at Sinakarin Virod University on the Ongkarak campus, Nakhon Nayok province, which is about 1 hour drive, 1 to 1.5 hour drive away from here. So we have a university hospital on the left side, which has about 500 bed capacity. And we have all of the major departments at the hospital. And we also have postgraduate residency training in most of the major departments. And we have subspecialty or fellowship training also in most of the departments. So if you would like to, if you started in the medical school at our JMP program, and you would like to stay and continue your studies into specialty and subspecialty training, we have pretty much the facility to train you all the way to become specialist doctor. And also we have another campus which is called Panya Nantip Tapiku Cholapathan Medical Center, or PCMC, which is another 500 bed capacity. So this is in Nonthaburi province, about 30 to 45 minutes drive. It's closer to Bangkok. So you will spend time to rotate to different hospitals within the affiliation of the medical school. So maybe in 1 year, you will spend 1 or 2 months, or 2 to 3 months at the PCMC Medical Center also. Yep, so that's pretty much just to wrap up of your journey. So this is the 3 months prep course, what I have been talking about. And then to the first 2.5 years at the University of Nottingham in the UK. And then you come back for year 4, 5, 6 in Thailand, mainly in Okrak, sometimes at Nonthaburi. And then you take national license examination, step 1 and step 2. And then after year 6, you will graduate to become a doctor with 2 degrees. One is Bachelor of Medical Science from the University of Nottingham, and another one is the medical degree from Nakarin Virod University. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much the whole 6 years overview picture about our joint medical program. So I think next will be time for questions. So if you have any questions, we all are happy to answer.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, you can ask now. For the parents สำหรับท่านผู้ปกครองเป็นไทยก็ได้นะครับเดี๋ยวช่วยพูดได้ทั้ง2ภาษานะครับ So I also want to address we like to promote the qualities, the knowledge, skills you got from University of Nottingham, which is the one is going to be the research skills. So when you come back to Thailand, you have to do another research project, so individual project. So when you graduate from the 2 degrees, you get 2 research projects. It might be like 1 or 2 publications, depends. So they asked about the national license exams in Thailand. So อย่างนี้ครับก็คือเดิมเนี่ยต้องเรียนว่ามีปัญหาจริงในช่วงแรกๆนะครับที่เราดูแลก็เนื่องจากว่าน้องกลับมา1 มีนาตีต้องง่ายๆนะครับสอบวันที่ประมาณ20 เมษายนนะครับซึ่ง1 มีนาเนี่ยบางคนก็เหมือนยังต้องเจ็ตแลกก่อนจะอะไรเงี้ยครับคือมีเวลาเตรียมตัวจริงๆเนี่ยแค่ประมาณ1 เดือนนะครับการสอบไลเซนส์จะ move ไปอยู่ปี 5นะครับในหลักสูตรณปัจจุบันนี้นะครับก็คือเริ่มปีนี้เป็นปีแรกก็คือจะไม่มีสอบ step 1 step 2 แล้วจะเหลือ step 1 อย่างเดียวนะครับก็คือเหลือแค่ step 1 แล้วก็ step 2 ตอนจบเลยซึ่งน้องก็จะกลับมาก่อน1 ปีเรียนคลินิกไปแล้ว1 ปีนะครับแล้วก็ไปสอบตอนปี 5นะครับซึ่งตัวข้อสอบเนี่ยมันจะไม่ได้เป็น pure basic science เหมือนเดิมแต่เดิมเนี่ยมันจะเป็นลักษณะของ basic science นะครับซึ่งทางน้องในหลักสูตรเนี่ยก็อาจจะ struggle ในส่วนของเรื่องของbasic science คือเราไม่ได้เรียนในรูปแบบอย่างที่เห็นในสไลด์ไปว่าเราเรียนเป็น integrated ก็คือเรามีเรื่องของคลินิกเข้ามาเกี่ยวข้องทีนี้พอมันสอบในรูปแบบใหม่เนี่ยมันทำให้เราดีขึ้นได้เปรียบขึ้นอันนี้ที่เรามองนะครับแต่ว่าเรามี support ระหว่างทางคือกลับมาเนี่ยเราก็จะมีจริงๆในช่วงปี 2 ปี 3เนี่ยทางอาจารย์ศิวพรซึ่งถ้าไม่ได้มาเนี่ยก็จะช่วย support ก็จะมีบางโมดูลที่ต้องยอมรับว่าทาง Nottingham ก็อาจจะไม่ได้เรียนเช่นเกี่ยวกับพวก tropical medicine ที่เกี่ยวกับเรื่องของโรคเขตร้อนเนี่ยนะครับเราก็จะมีเสริมให้เพราะว่าเราทราบว่าทางนู้นมีอะไรคือด้วยความที่เราทำงานด้วยกันเราก็จะทราบว่าเคมีอะไรบ้าง So I just want to explain in English that the new policy for the Thai medical council, they're going to move the national license exams. So basically earlier they have like 3 steps, right? Nowadays it will be only 2 steps. The first one will be on year 5, which means that our students already be back here for more than a year, so above a year, and then they already gained knowledge from the clinical part as well, and the new exam will be kind of like more integrated with the clinical, which is our kind of like advantage. So I think it will be better, and also we have like the supports for students along the way in terms of the tropical med module, something like that. Any more questions also from the online as well? So if you have questions. They asked about the degrees in the BMed side. Can it be used in Thailand? So actually, first thing, the degrees count as the bachelor degrees. So few medical schools in Thailand, they have the first degree like this. and also in in the UK as well, the BMS side is kind of like really important. So the easiest thing to say is basically if they couldn't, if that journey ends before the MD, they still get 1 degree. And then they can also work as like they already got the first degree. But this is not what we expect anyway. But other thing would be for the BMS side degree, they got more opportunity to study abroad because it's a degree from the University of Nottingham, either to the United States for the clinical training or also back to do the PhD in the UK. For us, as I graduate from the Thai medical school, if I want to go to do the PhD in the UK, I need to do master degree, 1 or 2 years, and then I got into the PhD. With the BMS sign, you can directly go to the PhD degree without doing the master. So it kind of like help a lot with times and also the cost, the tuition fee for the UK and also anywhere in the world like Australia, Canada, England. ก็ต้องเรียนอย่างนี้ว่าในตัวหลักสูตรเนี่ยถ้ามันมีปอตรีไว้ก่อนนะครับถ้าสมมติว่าเกิดอะไรขึ้นระหว่างทางอย่างน้อยน้องมีดีกรีอันนี้มันก็จะอย่างเป็นหลักประกันนะครับอันที่สองในเรื่องของการไปทำ PhD เนี่ยถ้าในประเทศไทยเนี่ยเนื่องจากว่าจบหมอมันเทียบเท่าปอโทเราเรียน PhD ได้เลยแต่ว่าถ้าไปอังกฤษเนี่ยมันต้องไปเรียนปอโทก่อนนะครับซึ่งอย่างที่ทราบกันก็คือปอโทอังกฤษแพงมากแพงแบบแพงสุดๆเลยโดยเฉพาะถ้าเราเป็น international student เนี่ยก็เราสามารถที่จะเรียน PhD ได้เลยครับอันนี้ก็จะเหมาะสำหรับคือถ้าดูจากโมเดลที่หลักสูตรทำเนี่ยเราก็จะเน้นในส่วนของ more academic คือเหมือนกับเป็นหมอที่อยู่ในวงการวิชาการทำ research นะครับเป็นอาจารย์แพทย์ซึ่งในอนาคตต้องเรียน PhD อยู่แล้วอย่างเงี้ยครับนี่ก็จะช่วยเซฟเวลาได้ค่อนข้างดี
I think it's very important for resume for the postgraduate training for specialty and fellowship. If you have a degree from the UK, your resume will obviously looks better than your competitors. And also for applying for jobs, if you want to work in the top hospitals, if you have a degree from the UK, I think the resume is better. And also if you want to apply to study abroad, like Dr. Amrin said, it's very useful.
Okay, I think it's also, it would be better if they want to come to us directly because right now in the live as well, they probably don't want to raise their hand. But if you have any questions, just come down to us and then we can end the session here and then we have an opportunity to talk. ก็เดี๋ยวถ้ามีคำถามมาถามได้เลยนะครับเดินเข้ามาคุยได้เลยครับจริงต้องบอกว่าเขาเป็นคนสัมภาษณ์ด้วยเนาะอยากให้มาคุยกับเขาด้วยนะครับในว่าได้แบบได้ลองถามได้อะไรอย่างเงี้ยนะครับเนาะโอเค
Do we have any questions from online?
Yeah, do we have any questions from online?
Okay.
ครับ
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise you can also email us on jointmd sawu. Yeah, you have that one. Okay, are we gonna give that one to you? So all the Facebook, TikTok, Line, everything, open chat. So you can, basically, if you have any questions, come to us directly. ครับ qualities that you're looking at when you do the interview?
It's a good question, and we both interviewed, and we both interviewed for years now. I think the qualities of what we're looking for is a student that's able to get some information, is able to understand that information in English and then tell us an answer back in a logical fashion. I think for me that's really the core of what we're trying to assess at interview. Dr. Amarin might be able to tell you a bit more about what they look for. Yeah, there's a portfolio element to it before you get to the interview process, but I think that's essentially what we want to look for in that particular way. It doesn't have to be any extra preparation or training particularly for that, but I think if we see that kind of analysis in a logical fashion, that would bode a student very well for what we're looking at in interview. I don't know if you...
Yeah, the interviews require students to think on their feet. So they'll be given a scenario and they'll have to come up with a confident, well-structured answer. So it's about having a degree of confidence, about having a degree of holistic thinking, being able to answer a question that you're not expecting.
ครับไหนๆเราเป็นมสวแล้วกันเนาะ เราหมายถึงว่าในรูปแบบของการดีไซน์ข้อสอบเนี่ยครับเราดีไซน์ออกมาอันหนึ่งคือเราต้องvalidate กับทาง Nottingham อยู่แล้วนะครับในส่วนของ portfolio เนี่ยเราดูว่าหนึ่งคือต้องเรียนแบบนี้พอร์ตที่จ้างทำหรือคุณพ่อคุณแม่ทำไม่เหมือนพอร์ตที่น้องทำเองนะครับอันนี้บอกเลยแล้วก็พวกเราก็ดูพอร์ตมาหลายปีคือเราดูพอร์ตมาตั้งแต่เริ่มต้นเลยนะครับตั้งแต่เริ่มใช้พอร์ตโฟลิโอรอบแรกเพราะเราเป็นกลุ่มแรกๆที่ต้องใช้นะครับเราเห็นว่าพอร์ตไหนจ้างทำพอร์ตไหนทำเองนะครับอันที่สองเพราะเรื่องราวมันจะ superficial คือเรื่องราวมันไม่ได้ deep นะครับอันที่สองคือเราเห็นเยอะๆว่าไปattend หลายๆที่นะครับซึ่งมันอาจจะไม่ได้ช่วยต้องเรียนแบบนี้นะครับอันที่แบบเราต้องจ่ายเงินเพื่อไป attend พวกที่แบบ half day อะไรอย่างเงี้ยครับเราจะดูรู้ว่าอันเนี้ยเป็นอันที่แบบเหมือนซื้อพอร์ตใช้คำว่าอย่างนี้แล้วกันนะครับคือเราซื้อพอร์ตซื้อเรซูเม่เนี่ยนะครับอันนี้เราเห็นนะครับแล้วเราก็ถูกเชิญไปพูดให้กับโรงเรียนแบบที่เป็นพวกกลุ่มMedical Ignite อะไรอย่างเงี้ยเราก็มองเห็นเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยเราอยากให้พอร์ตเนี่ยสะท้อนตัวตนน้องมาให้มากที่สุดคำว่าสะท้อนคือน้องสามารถอธิบายได้ว่าน้อง involve อย่างไรแล้วมันเกณฑ์แบบเหมือน understanding หรือมันเกณฑ์ skills อะไรจากตัวพอร์ตและให้สะท้อนตัวตนให้มากที่สุดแล้วเราเช็คในข้อสอบinterview เนี่ยเราเช็คอีกรอบว่าทำจริงและสกิลนั้นน่ะที่เราบอกว่าพูดเราได้ใช้จริงๆหรือเปล่านะครับก็เห็นบางคนก็แบบพยายามไปซื้อแบบให้ได้ตีพิมพ์นะครับตีพิมพ์ publish อะไรอย่างเงี้ยนะครับซึ่งบางคนมีเปเปอร์เยอะกว่าอาจารย์มหาวิทยาลัยอย่างเราอีกแล้วงงว่าปีนึงอ่ะคือกว่าเราจะทำงานวิจัยได้1 ปีเนี่ยมันก็ใช้เวลาเนาะเพราะฉะนั้นเราก็เต็มที่เราก็จะออกได้ประมาณ2-3เปเปอร์อะไรเงี้ยน้องจบมามี9เปเปอร์อย่างเงี้ยครับเราชัดเจนว่าโอเคแล้วก็บางคนมันก็เป็นเรื่องที่มันแบบ beyond อะไรเงี้ยครับเราก็จะถามว่าได้อะไรบ้างครับในส่วนการสัมภาษณ์เนี่ยเราอยากให้น้องอ่ะชายตัวตนออกมาให้ได้มากที่สุดในระยะเวลาที่เรากำหนดเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยความตื่นเต้นเป็นอะไรที่มีผลต่อการสัมภาษณ์มากๆสิ่งที่เรามองหาคือเรามองหา quality ที่ผมบอกไปอาจจะอยู่บนสไลด์นี้ก็ได้นะครับอะไรที่อยู่บนเนี้ยก็คือเป็นสไลด์ที่เราบอกว่าโอเคอันนี้คือสิ่งที่เราอยากได้คือ graduate outcome ก็คือ outcome ในตัว applicants ที่เราอยากได้okay so the IELTS is gonna be UKVI and it's overall 7.0 with each module 6.5 this one is not count as the marks on the portfolio because this is what we discussed with Nottingham so this is the baseline and if you pass it passed we don't take it as the marks the ACAT is included in the portfolio marks and also the other most important thing is going to be the grade from the schools so the biology and chemistry need to be at least B for the A levels for the IB or the NC and every system so biology so usually should be more at least like B meaning biology B chemistry B ครับ B จริงๆครับเป็น B จริงๆจริงๆคือดู B จริงๆครับดู B จริงๆใช่เพราะว่าแต่ว่าจริงๆนะถ้าตอนที่คือเนื่องจากว่าตอนที่เรามาส่งครับคะแนนมันยังไม่ออกถูกไหมครับเพราะฉะนั้น predicted grade ก็ควรจะต้องเป็น A B มาก่อนเพราะว่าก็คืออย่างน้อยก็คือ performance โอเคอะไรเงี้ยครับแล้วก็ต้อง maintain จนกระทั่งจบแหละก็ต้องเป็น BBB เพราะว่าถ้าจบแล้วไม่ได้ BB เนี่ยมีปัญหาเรื่องวีซ่าโอเคครับโอเคครับ
งั้นเดี๋ยวก่อนที่จะจบเซสชันนะครับก็ในนามของโรงเรียนสาธิตประสานมิตรหลักสูตรนานาชาติด้วยแล้วก็หลักสูตรไทยด้วยนะครับก็ต้องขอบคุณนะครับทางทีม Hamasawal นะครับ and I would like to express my sincere thanks for the Nottingham University, the Faculty of Medicine as well for this opportunity. That is a great opportunity for our parents and also students and benefit for all the whole school, not only the international program, the Thai program as well. So we hope that we will see you again in the Faculty of Medicine, and I hope that like all of our students will be the part of the program. Thank you very much for today. ขอบคุณนะครับก็คุณพ่อคุณแม่หรือว่าน้องๆมีคำถามหรืออยากจะมาเซฮายแนะนำตัวกับอาจารย์ก่อนเนอะฝากฝั่งก็เชิญเลยนะครับเชิญเลยครับ